teams rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait, captain choice will seal your fate. Two enthusiasts breaking it down, fantasy kings, we're taking the crown.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tinker Time, an FPL pod, the show for every fantasy Premier League manager who's already second-guessing their latest draft. It's Thursday, January 15th, 2026, and whether you're finally locked into your Gameweek 22 draft or just here to scout some differentials, you've come to the right place. I'm Matt, alongside Jim, and we're here to help you tweak, test, and yes, tinker your way to the top of your mini-leagues. We'll break down the best value picks, fixture trends, and hidden gems so you don't have to stare at your squad screen in despair. So let's pop the hood, crack open the spreadsheet, and get tinkering. Jim, twice in 1 week? What a treat. How the hell are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to get back in. I didn't start tinkering till today, but before that, I don't think I seconded your changing of the intro there. Locked into Gameweek 22. That's different than second guessing.
I know. You know, like I said, we're all about keeping folks on their toes. That's the name of the game here. That's what we're trying to do.
That makes me feel like you're locked in.
I'm locked in. Well, I'm not. I shouldn't say I'm locked in yet. We've got a little time to the deadline, so no Friday fixture this week. But I think it's just very appropriate that I kick things off and, you know, a heartfelt apology to our our AFCON fans, our listeners that are AFCON fans. I think I very, very rudely, ignorantly misspoke. I said that I think I said Morocco were the hosts and they were eliminated. I don't think either one of those are accurate. And you know, I hand up. I messed up. And if we're not experts, we are clearly enthusiasts. And when we're wrong, we're wrong. You know. No resolutions this year, but I want to be better, and that's starting now.
It's big of you to admit that you were wrong there, but that pales in comparison to the egregious Iwobi stat that you were flinging out there. You were nowhere even close.
Okay, but I did send you the Iwobi stat afterward.
You said he played 38 games and scored 10 goals in every game in every season for 13 years.
Okay, and just so the people know. What exactly, because I did send it to you, what was the actual stat? So it was, he's played 11 consecutive seasons in the Prem, a minimum of 25 games every season. So I said 35, but it was 25. All 38 games in 2 seasons for 2 different clubs. He has played, and then what was the rest of it? It was 35, 35 appearances in a season for Arsenal. 100 caps for Nigeria, and he's under 30.
This is ridiculous. Why are we congratulating him on being in the league for 11 years?
Hold on. I never said congratulations. I just said I just was speaking to it. Let's be very clear.
Okay.
There were no congratulatory messages. It was just a fun fact.
And to be clear, did he score 10 goals ever in those 11 seasons?
No.
Okay.
I retract that. I don't retract it. I can also put my hand up and say I am trying to be better, and
so
I messed up.
Off by 11 seasons on that. Out of his 11 seasons,
it was
by 11.
It was okay. I had the numbers from the tweet. It was 10 seasons, and it was 25 games.
No, it's 11 seasons.
Yeah, Jesus H. We have Gameweek 22 around the corner.
You trying to bring Iwobi in? Are you trying to convince yourself?
I'm not touching Fulham with a 10-foot pole. Even Harry Carey himself, the Wilson man. Listen, AFCON finals are January 18th, which means if you're thinking about bringing an AFCON player in, maybe hold off if any of those players are in the final, because the earliest they would be back would be Gameweek 23. So just kind of keep that in mind.
And you did apologize, so you obviously looked into it, and the 2 teams in the final are... Okay, so you didn't...
No. I believe it's Senegal, and I believe it's Morocco. Let me double check that. AFCON final, just a quick Google, is Senegal, Morocco. Man, I am so good.
You're good.
I'm good. On the 18th. I even have the date. Yeah. Yeah. Your boy, Sadio Mane, getting a chance
I love
against your
Mane.
boy, a Chief Hakimi. That I think I messed up his first name, but
Chief?
I think it's our chief or something. I don't know. Hakimi, close enough. Rumored to have a baby with Cardi B. I saw that the other day.
Was fighting Stefan Diggs for Cardi B time.
Well, yeah, Jesus. We are off to a blistering start. Yeah, so I don't even know where are we? Let's reset.
Diggs had 3 babies this year, one of which was with Cardi B. And she's also having the baby with Hakimi?
Apparently, Hakimi's the true father of the kid. I don't know. That's the rumor that's going around.
Only one pregnancy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think technically only one. You know what? I'm not gonna get into this. This feels like out of scope for what this pod is aimed at.
I could see that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's roll back.
But
So Saturday, kickoff.
yeah. Well, even before that. So just wanted to really quickly hit on the January transfer window. So as we mentioned on the last episode, we are in the midst of the transfer window. Obviously we talked Semenyo, who, moved over from Bournemouth to City. We're going to probably talk about him a little bit more during this episode, but, a couple of other names. I mean, there's been a lot of loans out, players moving out of their clubs. But there have been a few players that have come back in that are maybe worth mentioning, just, kind of honorable mentions. Our good friend Pascal Gross coming back into Brighton. I had a little bit of a stint there. I think he went over to the Bundesliga, was it? I think it was.
Where did he got snatched up by somebody pretty big, didn't he?
I thought he went over to Dortmund.
That might have been it.
I think that's what it was.
He was in Dortmund the last 2 years.
What was it really 2 years?
Yeah, do you want to hear a mind-blowing stat?
I do actually. I love mind-blowing stats.
Blow
my mind.
In his
Blow
2
me.
seasons at Dortmund, he played in 21 games minimum. Isn't that crazy?
That's pretty good. No, that's awful. That's like that's a little over half. Yeah. But your boy Nicholas Füllkrug on his way out went over to Milan.
What a disappointment that was.
He was your guy.
I really thought he was going to be the value pick of the year.
Yeah, you thought wrong. We talked Brennan Johnson. He didn't move out of the league, just kind of, went to the other side of London there. So he's over at Palace now. Should be getting some good minutes. We'll talk about that a little bit. But it's still, we're about halfway through the window. There haven't really been a ton of impactful moves. There's been a ton of rumors.
Conor Gallagher.
What was that?
Conor Gallagher.
Conor Gallagher did join. He trained today. I saw some videos. I think he was added in the game at 5.5 mil. Yeah, so that's interesting because he obviously comes back with experience. He might slot right in.
I'd say that is the most tempting price of any Spurs player at the moment. Because you're right, he's going to slot right in. We're short midfielders.
Where do you think he slots in?
I think he takes like the central role from Xavi.
Do you think Xavi goes out left?
Probably. Or right. I mean, we have nobody on the right now. Kudus out.
Well, he's been playing Odegaard, I think, on the right? He's been kind of putting Tell out on the left.
Thought Odegaard was on the left and Tell was up top.
Yeah, well, Richie's going to be injured for about, I think I saw 7 weeks. Tell's going to Paris FC or SC. What the hell is that? That I think Paris SC is the club that, like, their stadium, like, touches tips with PSG stadium.
Yeah.
Ugh. So anyway, yeah, I mean, the transfer window, it's been lots of talk, lots of rumors, not a lot of movement just yet. I honestly think once AFCON kind of settles, I think we're going to see a lot of movement in kind of the last third of the window here.
Yeah, I think he's definitely moving. Palace would be so dumb to keep him.
Be ridiculously stupid. That's just bad business.
Yeah.
Awful business. I think we said it. Like they're probably have scored enough points or accumulated enough points already to kind of secure their spot.
Definitely.
For next season. Glasner's already said he's not renewing his contract. So at this point, you're basically starting from scratch. You may as well blow it up.
You know who they should bring in when Glasner leaves?
Thomas Frank?
Roy Hodgson. The only one that can turn this around.
What a guy. But before the window ends, we do have Gameweek 22. So Saturday, we've got a good amount of fixtures on Saturday. Very heavy Saturday slate. As we mentioned on last episode, really the main feature is the early fixture. So we've got Manchester Derby, United hosting City at 7:30. In the 10 o'clock slot, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. We've got Chelsea hosting the Bees. We've got Leeds hosting Fulham. Liverpool hosting Burnley. Sunderland hosting Palace. Spurs are going to be hosting West Ham. And then at 12:30, Nottingham are going to be hosting the Gooners. That would round out Saturday's fixtures. Moving over to Sunday, we'll have Wolves hosting Newcastle at 9 a.m. Eastern. All these are Eastern time because we live in America. And Aston Villa will be hosting Everton at 11:30. That'll be all we have for Sunday. And then, of course, we have the useless Monday fixture. Brighton Hove Albion at 3 p.m. Eastern hosting the thin Bournemouth Attack. We'll talk about that a little bit too. So what stands out to you on Saturday, Jimbo? What are you watching? Derby aside, because I feel like that's kind of the obvious one here.
Derby aside, so I mean, FPL wise, I think you're going to be looking at Liverpool versus Burnley. They should put some points in. Hopefully Ekitike is back, and probably Arsenal away to Forest. You have to imagine that they're going to score against Forest, who are seemingly falling apart. I mean, not seemingly. They have had a tough year.
Mm.
And then, hate to say it, but West Ham Spurs just seems like there could be like a 3-3 goals either way. Neither team can defend. It just seems like they're good. That's my prediction. A lot of goals there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that Liverpool pick. So just to throw some numbers out there. So according to Fantasy Football Edits, shout out to them for supplying us with some numbers for today's up. So Ekitike is at a 52% clip to score a goal against Burnley. So, basically a flip of the coin. I don't know if you like those odds, but, if you're playing baseball, if you're getting a hit at 52% of the time, that's pretty phenomenal. So I think you like those odds if you got Ekitike in your squad.
Yeah,
To your
we love
point, I mean, I think the only concern there was minutes, but he did get 30 minutes, I think, in their midweek game. So, I think as long as he starts, I think you got to like your odds there. The Spurs fixture is interesting. So they're obviously very thin right now, I think, in midfield, and they're very thin in the attack, right? So midfield, we've got Bentancur, who's going to be out for, I think, 3 months, they just announced. Kudus is going to be out for a long time. They should be getting Bergvall back. They just brought in Gallagher, like we mentioned. Romero is going to be back from his suspension. Solanke came back, had a few minutes in the last game. Destiny Udogie came back. Should be able to get a few minutes here or there, hopefully.
And Coolidge should be back. Like he's been out for almost a year.
Well, so the latest that we heard on him was, I think, was it last week or maybe 10 or so days ago, that he got an injection in his knee for pain. He was experiencing pain, which he's been rehabbing for a knee injury that he had surgery on. So to me, that's extremely concerning, because if you had surgery to,
Yeah.
repair an injury 7 months ago, and you're still having pain, that's a red flag to me.
Yeah, especially because he was started training. We thought he was going to be back before Solanke. So
I think Madison's back before Kulusevski at this point.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
too much Spurs talk for a team that stinks. But do you
So
disagree
true.
that
So
it's
true.
not going to be a high scoring game? Both sides.
I think it has the potential to be. I'm just my only hesitancy is just I'm not sure what the lineup's going to be, because Kolomwani right now is really our only quote unquote healthy striker that's kind of given us 90 minutes ever.
Oh, Solanke could start.
He could start, but I don't know if he's going to be able to give us
Yeah,
60 minutes.
I see Gallagher coming in and making an instant impact.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to have to. Or you see Tell slot in up there and he can kind of play, in a striker role, or you see Odebear kind of get up there and play a little bit more, in that number 9 role. But then it's almost like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, because now what are you doing out wide, right? So I think this is one of those weeks, just like survive in advance, get at least a point, and
It's
see what you can.
table. This is where we're
Yeah.
at. It's terrible.
Yeah, I think Spurs are they've got a few players that they're linked to, that there's, in the attacking realm, that they're rumored. They've got to get at least 2. So hopefully we're talking about them in the next episode or 2.
Won't hold my breath.
Yeah.
What are
Anything
your
else
thoughts
for
on the
Saturday?
Barb-
Derby. So
I think it's gonna go. You think Semenyo gets the start?
yeah, I want to talk about Semenyo a little bit, and we have a couple questions in the mailbox related to Semenyo and maybe one of his teammates. Obviously, right, United, they're kind of they're in a little bit of a transition phase right now, kind of switching from Amram to caretaker mode. I think there's components to a derby like this where sometimes you have to throw form out. This is one of those derbies that just, it's just rooted in rivalry. It doesn't matter if either team is in phenomenal form. Both teams, both squads are gonna, they're gonna sit up a little bit higher in their chair for this one. So that being said, I don't see how City lose this one.
Yeah.
I think right now, like Haaland, the form that he's been in, Semenyo coming in, he's been firing on all cylinders. I think he gets the start. I think that also there's been a lot of conversation around Bruno Fernandes, he's going to be more attacking, more attacking. Well, let me raise this as a counterpoint. We were talking team of the season last episode, and Bruno was right in there in top 5. I think he was the top 4th scorer, was he? His expected goal contributions per game is already at, right now, as we're sitting here, 0.5. That's top, tops of the league. That's really good.
Very good.
And he was already
Contribution or that's goals?
expected goals, expected goal contributions. So, and assists. How much higher is it really going to go?
I don't think it needs to go higher. I think it just needs to start hitting at that rate.
Well, but that's my point is like, you look at like Declan Rice, right, who is the highest scorer, and he's not even really an attacking midfielder. So like, let's take maybe, who was the next highest scoring midfielder? Do we remember who it was? Throw out Bruno Guimaraes. It was Semenyo, right? So let's say that, Semenyo is the, attacking midfielder of the season, right? And we could argue he's overperformed, but whatever. Bruno's getting kind of that same level of production, and he's been sitting deeper. But like, if he is going to be sitting a little bit higher up the field, I would almost just argue that his goal contributions aren't really going to change. He's probably just going to lose some more of his DEFCON. I think his DEFCON's going to take a hit. I don't think his goal contributions are going to change. I just wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
I'm not sure I'm following. You're saying he's going to be playing more forward and he's not going to score more.
I'm just saying,
so
I'm saying if his expected goal contribution while he was sitting deeper was 0.2, then sure, I think you could make the argument that him getting out of Amram system where he's going to be a little bit more forward, you could see that expected goal contribution go up. You might see his goal scoring or his numbers increase. But what I'm saying is his expected goals are already pretty high. So I don't see it as they're going to go even higher. I see it as, at some point you kind of hit your peak, you hit your capacity. There is a limit to a certain extent of just like how much of an expected goal contribution you can have. I see it as his DEFCON numbers will take a hit. So it's like we're kind of saying the same thing 2 different ways, but I don't know.
I think you're now too far into the stats and the expected, because the numbers are what they are, but until they convert, it's meaningless. So if he's playing deeper, he's playing balls into the box from deeper. Yes, they're missing. He plays a ball into Buemo. Buemo heads it over the post. No goal. If he's 30 yards further up the pitch and he plays a ball to Buemo, you have to assume that there's going to be a better chance it's right where he needs it to be, and he puts it in. No?
I guess, like, to that point, though, I don't think that...
It doesn't matter what the expected are.
I guess.
He's going to be in a better position to make those plays.
Yeah. I'm not expecting Bruno to turn into, like, what was it, 2021 Bruno, where he was like, at 12.5 priced midfielder or whatever it was, and he was like the likes of Salah in terms of scoring. I don't think we're going to see a second half like that for Bruno. That's kind of more so what I'm getting at with this, repositioning of him.
I take it back. But going back to saying, I don't know what you're trying to get. I don't know what you're trying to. He's the number 4. He's the number 4 scoring midfielder.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's already having a good season. I think he's kind of going under the radar. Everyone's saying he's sitting so
you were
deep.
Just saying he's going to get worse.
I'm not saying he's going to get worse. I'm saying he's already having a good season. Everyone's saying he's going under the radar because he's sitting so deep. I'm saying, look at how well he's already doing. Look at his expected numbers. Look at it. Like, look how well he's already performing. How much better do you think he's going to get? That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
It's like, if
my brain's brain is still hurting trying to. So you are buying or selling Bruno?
I would buy Bruno.
Okay.
I would buy Bruno.
You you can't get any better. He's gonna be
No,
losing points.
no, I'm saying I have overlooked him. I have overlooked him because I've been so set on, he's going to be sitting so deep. He can't possibly, be getting these returns. And now you're looking at his underlying numbers. You look at what he's actually scored, and he's doing very well.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's the number 4 midfielder.
Yeah. Yeah. Under the radar. I think he's been underrated. Everyone's been focusing on Bomo. He's been focusing on Cunha. Everyone's been, oh, Bruno's not the player that this season because he's sitting so deep.
I think a lot of that's the price, at least for
Well, you've said all season money's not an option.
money's not a.
Money bags over there.
All right,
So,
we've
yeah, I
spent
think
far too
City
much
run
time
away with
on
it.
Bruno's expected goals and how high they are and how that's a bad thing for him, but
Never said it was a bad thing. This is why your wife got you a coloring book for Christmas. What else do you like on Saturday? So you like
Ugh.
Liverpool? You like
I like
Spurs?
Liverpool. I think this should be a good time to see what Rossinier, what he's going to line up. I don't know. On paper, you'd say Chelsea should beat Brentford, but when you look at the table, they're kind of like having the same season. So I think
Yeah.
that'll be an interesting lineup and get a little insight as to how he wants them to play. Have you heard him speak yet? What kind of an accent does he have?
I have heard him speak. He's English, so I think he's.
What kind of English? He seems like kind of
like
nerdy, like a prim London guy.
yeah, yeah. To be honest, I'm not like super well versed on all the kind of different dialects. Not the right word, but the different kind of what's the word
Accent.
I'm looking for? Accent, I guess.
Yeah, dialect is probably,
Yeah, I
I
don't know,
don't know,
tongues. I
bring
don't
in
know.
to bring in a literary expert.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, as far as, that game goes, João Pedro and Palmer are both expected to score at a 36 and a 35% clip. What's interesting there at that point, I think, yeah, we're trying to learn, kind of what he's going to be doing with that lineup. Chelsea have a really, really good run of fixtures coming up. I don't know if we have their fixture run coming up in front of us here, but if you take a look, I'm pulling it up right now. So I'm looking at game weeks 24 through 28 in front of me. So not, this week, but, in a couple weeks. Chelsea have West Ham in 24. So starting in 24, West Ham, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, and then Arsenal in game week 28. That is a phenomenal run.
Yeah, it's good.
Starting in 24. And I mean, even this week, technically Brentford, right? So, I don't know what they have in 23 in front of me because I haven't got that in front of me, but
And you have Palace, Brentford and
if they
Palace, and the
Brentford
Palace continue
Palace.
to
Okay.
gaze
So,
on.
yeah, I mean,
I think
so they
there's some
have in
goals.
the next 6 game weeks, they have the 3 relegation teams. I mean, and then the other one's Leeds. And
Yeah. So I think we mentioned it maybe last week. Maybe the time to get in on Palmer is now. Ahead of that, set yourself up.
yeah, yeah.
He's gonna be.
Palmer, maybe a defender too.
I don't know. I brought Reece James in, and he's kind of backfired. Now he's flagged again.
That's classic. Classic Reece James getting flagged. That's how it always works.
Yeah, that should be a good one.
Uh,
But then on Saturday, yeah, I don't know. Sunderland Palace, be rooting for the Black Cats, but not gonna watch that one.
yeah.
And DCL versus the Premier League legend Iwobi. I'm not gonna be watching. I'm gonna be watching that one.
Yeah.
Moving on to Sunday, should be some goals on Sunday as well.
Sunday, you have no reason to not watch both games. They're not at the same time. I will be at church because I could use the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit could use me. Listen, Wolves are so out of it at this point. I think we were talking a
Only
little
one set of
Newcastle
footprints.
earlier. We were talking Newcastle a little earlier, right? Here's that old Newcastle, Wolves trap, right? Newcastle, they had a midweek game, but the game was on Tuesday, I think it was. So, they're going to get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. They'll get, 3 days off in between, 4 days off. Do they give Voltemade the minutes? Do they give Issa the minutes? Do they sit Gordon and start Harvey Barnes? Like, you get these mind games. Do they start Alanga? Like, I don't know.
I think that they've been too inconsistent to use this as a rest game. I think they're gonna want to kind of lock down who they can trust. I mean, they're still in Champions League, no? Yeah.
Yeah, group play is it's still
they got
going on. So
yeah. So they have a game on next Wednesday against PSV Eindhoven,
right.
and then the following week they have PSG. So I don't know. I think they've been too inconsistent to not play their best 11, and I think they're still looking to see who that is with Vissa and Voltemade. So I agree that maybe those two could be swapped, but I don't think they're going to take Gordon for Elanga or Gordon for
Yeah,
Vaughn.
they're big signing, Anthony Elanga. They're a big expensive signing. Yeah, I don't know.
Who's getting
We've
benched
been
by Jacob Murphy.
Sunday League superhero. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough call.
Well, Wolves stink, so somebody will get a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Doble for sure.
Sure.
And Newcastle defense though looks pretty good there, I would say.
Yeah. Villa hosting Everton. I said personally, I'm going to wait until NDI comes back.
Future Spur, Iliam.
I saw that.
I saw that.
We'll see.
Yeah. He's had like 2 good months of soccer in the
Yeah.
Prem. And we're like, he's the best. Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, Villa should tie that one up pretty easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I would
Without
think so.
NDI and KDH, how'd you like that? My abbreviation, KDH. I don't think I like.
That was really that's kid. I mean, KDB kind of rolls off the tongue, so
I know.
B to H is pretty
It's because
easy.
I always mess up his name, so I was trying to
You do say Drewsbury Hall,
every time.
every time. I don't go, like when we're editing the episode after. I never fix it.
Well, that's because you don't know how to.
I do. Just I like to leave it. You know,
You like to leave the R's in there.
not in the R's. That's not what your mother said, Trebek. Yeah, no, Villa. I mean, they've playing with all the confidence in the world. Marco Bizzo. That's all I have to say on them.
We're due for like a John McGinn goal, assist by Matty Cash.
I love that.
And nobody.
I have a confession. Another one. Hand up here. I made a claim. Great one. Well, good for you. I made a comment in the last episode about Victor Lindelof.
You did.
I was fairly confident that I was accurate in my claim that, he had been getting some good run, but I wasn't positive, I'll admit. So I actually, a little
Were you
bit
not
before we
positive?
jumped on here, I wasn't HIV positive. So I went and I looked. And he actually has gotten 90 minutes, I think, in the last 4 Prem games. So I was proud of myself on that one. I took a chance, took a leap, make a chant, and break away.
You broke it away. I was gonna question whether or not he was on West Ham instead of Villa. I'm glad I did. That would
That was that's a slap in his face.
yeah. I didn't do that though. So
Yeah. Okay.
all right. And then Monday, Brighton hosting Bournemouth. That's a stinker of a game. Kind of a disappointment to drag it out another day. Just wrap it up
Yeah.
on Sunday.
I actually don't want to talk about this one because I think we have a couple mailbag questions related to some players on this one. So we'll hold off.
Let's hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as far as like DEF CON goes this week, I think Tarkowski, Nessie, they kind of are, those DEF CON kings. Clean sheet wise, though, I mean, I think we kind of hit on it, right? Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool are probably your big ones to look out there for. Sunderland probably have a decent chance. They're kind of, as far as, we've got some clean sheet percentages coming from FPL Tom Hadley. Percentages this week. I know, I'm getting...
Doubting Peter. Doubting Thomas?
Well, this one's Tom Hadley. What do you mean? Rob Peter to pay Paul? I mentioned them already.
No, that guy doubting somebody, so he didn't believe in that.
Oh, Judas?
No.
Are we talking about the Bible again?
Yeah. Ask about it when you go to church on Sundays. Excuse me? Quick question in the back?
I'm actually giving the sermon.
We are.
Yeah, it's my week. I get 1 week like every few years. And this is it. I usually try to volunteer for the Passion. That's usually my go-to.
You
I
should
know it
start
by
by
heart.
singing I Have Another Confession to Make.
No, I'm actually going to start the Mass by playing the theme song to our episode. Could you imagine? No, but
Should we do a spin-off? 2 enthusiasts breaking down?
We wouldn't call it Tinker Time. We'd call it All Crossed Up. All right. Anyway.
I would not bode well.
Yeah. No, sometimes you got to just like take a leap. Sometimes you got to try to jump and just get out of the way. Otherwise, life will hit you. It'll come right at you. It'll hit you like a car coming at you. And Jimbo, today's episode is brought to you by Frogger, the Game of Champions. 1981 masterpiece of pixelated peril that proves, once and for all, that life is just one giant high-speed dash across a crowded highway. But we're not just talking about any game of Frogger. We're talking about the high score, the legendary GLC. A score so massive, so ancient, it's practically a historical landmark and a hole-in-the-wall pizza joint that's about to become a Starbucks. You don't just play Frogger, you maneuver through it. You time the logs, you dodge the taxis, you avoid the crocodiles, all while your palms become the Amazon rainforest. It's a test of reflexes, spatial awareness, and the sheer, desperate need to prove to a group of uninterested teenagers that you were once the king of the arcade. But be warned, the real game starts when the pizza place closes, because when you have to move that machine across Second Street without losing power, without losing that precious, glorious GLC, you realize that you are the frog. The traffic is real, the mail trucks are coming, and you've only got one slippery Pete to help you hook it up to a battery that probably won't last the trip. It's about the legacy. It's about the perfection. It's about not letting your life's greatest achievement be erased by a guy named Shloma. Grab a joystick today at slipperypeteselectronics.com and use code TINKER for 10% off any refurbished arcade cabinet. That's slipperypeteselectronics.com, code TINKER. Frogger, eat your heart out, Pete. And back to the pod. I got through that one.
That was your best one in
That was
months.
good. You know what? I'll be honest. I had to cover your face while I was reading it. Otherwise, I can't. Not because I think you're funny looking, because you bring me so much joy that it makes me smile so wide.
Yeah.
I started laughing.
I had to look up George's middle name in that. Do you remember it?
Isn't it Luther?
Lewis. Yeah. I didn't know.
GLC, baby.
GLC. The holes. Where are the holes?
Oh boy, what an ep!
Captain's
It's
picks?
actually just real quick before that. It's incredible. There's so many products in those episodes. Just we're never gonna run out.
7 seasons or 9 seasons?
Well, if you never
Fair.
stop playing the episodes, it's like there's a million. But,
True.
You said it. Captaincy picks. What are we thinking this week?
So I said I think Liverpool is probably your best bet, and maybe Arsenal. And it might not be crazy to go an Arsenal defender. Do you want to get real saucy with it?
What are you drinking right now?
Nothing. I'm actually
My-
thirsty for some water.
Here, let me give you some.
Go.
Okay. All right. I want to hear what you're thinking. Go ahead. I cut you off there. I'm so sorry.
I think Verts. I'm thinking Verts is probably your safer pick. I think they'll score, and he's looked a little bit better. He's going to get more consistency. He's getting the minutes. But for Arsenal, might be nice. Might be nice to throw Timber in there.
Timber. So hold on. I want to just be clear. These are after your boy Erling, who is the top captain pick this week.
I don't like captaining Holland or really anybody in a derby because it's rare that they have those explosive games.
Interesting.
Like you said,
Yeah.
they'll sit higher in their chairs, which seemed like a interesting. Why are you typing so loud?
Oh, I'm just looking. So Holland has scored 8 goals in just 6 games in his derbies against Manchester, which is tying him with Aguero. He also has 3 assists in these matches. So his most recent derby, he had a brace. So I hear what you're saying. I'm just, what has he done lately? I'm just curious. I think for me, it's more
was at
the
home. That was at home. That wasn't at Old Trafford.
excellent point. I thought you were going to more so go the route of, never captain the early game.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah.
Early game and a derby, steer clear.
That's double trouble. Or did they cancel out?
Double jeopardy.
Can't be tried twice.
So maybe we give him the captain and the vice captain.
Oh, no. That means triple captain.
It's 1.5 times.
Yeah, I think it's a tough call. I
What
think
are
on
you thinking?
paper. So on paper, I don't think Holland's a bad choice. I mean,
It's a safe choice.
I think he's a safe choice.
I think it's a safe choice. I don't think he's going to be explosive and get 15 points. But yeah, he allows us to score a goal.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in previous years where he wasn't necessarily nailed on penalties, right? When KDB was there, when Mahrez was there, it was a little easier to convince yourself, like, yeah, he's going to be involved in a goal maybe, but like, he's not on penalties, so you could kind of convince yourself to move off him. But now that he seems to be getting them as well, it makes the decision a little tougher. I feel like these derbies always, players are maybe playing defense a little more aggressively in the box. You could see a penalty. It's tough because if he gets a brace, you're just going to sit there and be like, it was so obvious. Like it was right there in front of you. And then you have that issue where it's the first game. So now you have to sit there for the rest of the game week, and you're just hoping that everyone else blanks because now you know what I mean? You have to like sit there and just wear it for the rest of the game week. I don't know.
You're just giving the facts for both sides. I want you to know what you're.
Oh, well, I didn't hear you ask me the question.
Yeah.
I think right now with my squad, I'm probably leaning Holland captaincy. I don't really have a second player that I would want to captain yet. I don't have Wirtz in my squad. I like the Wirtz pick. You and we were talking a little bit off mic earlier today about the possibility of bringing in Gabriel. I like the Arsenal defender captaincy pick, but it would require me to take a hit. And we'll talk squads a little bit.
You have
Later in
Ekatike.
the app.
You don't like Ekatike?
I don't have Ekatike. I have Thiago.
Oh, I pulled up the wrong squad here.
Yeah, dingbat. It's okay. It's okay. Nobody's perfect. I gotta work it. Yeah. So
if I had your squad, I'd probably go. Although Gordon versus Wolves.
I'm not confident on Gordon's minutes.
Yeah, but even if he doesn't get 90, he could still.
It's possible.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's your team. Everybody can make their own.
Oh, I hate my team. So
yeah, well, like,
what are you thinking for? What are you thinking for like a differential pick? So I think those three are probably the most popular. If you were to really go out there on a limb, who'd you pick?
For a differential or for a captain? Are we doing
a differential captain?
Oh, a differential captain. Something fun?
Yeah.
Fun one?
Get spicy.
Pass. Give me a
Okay.
Probably Palmer.
Ooh. Okay. I don't hate that.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a good player.
For sure.
Wants to impress the new Gaffa. We'll see.
I would go way out in left field. I would go Gyökeres. No one's captaining him.
It's crazy talk.
Forest are either
nobody has him.
That's what makes him a differential, Jim.
I like that. I like the differential just bringing him in.
Yeah. I mean that's like a double diff because nobody has him, which means nobody's captaining him. You might have been operating on you can have him, but no one's captaining him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Some crazy mind shit
I love
there.
a good differential.
Well, speaking of differentials,
I've been trying to get away from them just so I can stop losing them.
It's a journey. Captain's picks this week for captain's draft. It's your pick this week. You get first pick. Who are you thinking?
I'm gonna go Vets. In Vets. Go back to the well.
Okay. I think this week I am going to go with.
Please tell me you're going Bruno after your tirade against him.
No, I'm gonna go Anthony Gordon. No, I'm going Harvey Barnes. I take it back.
What? You just said he's not gonna even play.
I'm crazy. I'm wild and crazy. Differential radar. So we're going to do it like we did last time we did this. I'm going to give you 3 names. I want you to tell me which one you like the most. Start with 4.
You're going to rank them?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Whatever. It's your pod. We can do whatever you want. First. All right, here we go. Nick Pope, Allison, and Vicario.
For this week, I would go Allison, Pope, then Vicario.
Allison, Pope, Vicario.
Burnley at home? Gotta love Allison.
More than Pope against Wolves?
He's away.
You think Wolves are going to get a goal? More so than Burnley?
You think Burnley's going to score at Anfield?
Fair. Okay.
They both stink. I'd
be you.
That's my pick.
Okay. I shouldn't question it. It's your pick. Defenders. Romero, Frimpong, Malik. Oh.
Is Frimpong healthy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm giving you an honorable mention here, too, because I couldn't help myself. Lean, the new, not new, but the recalled center back for City, who was on loan at Watford, came back, scored against Exeter. He's only $4.5 million, should start, and he's owned by less than 0.1% of managers.
See, that's a tricky one, though, because obviously if he starts, well, no, I would go Frimpong, Romero.
So that's the same order as the keepers?
No, I did first.
Okay, sure. Yep, you switched it. Interesting.
Just because I don't know if I could trust Frimpong to play 60 minutes.
I think Frimpong's going to start.
Yeah, but didn't we see him get sub 60? You think he's going to start up top over Subside? He's been playing great. I don't think he will. Subside's been fantastic.
What was Liverpool's last lineup in their last Prem game? Please hold. I need to look because I think it's worth looking at. Let's
kids
see.
with
Their
your
last.
computers at your fingertips.
All right, so the last game against Fulham, Frimpong, he didn't start. You're right. Szoboszlai did start on the right. Frimpong came in.
Against
He's actually listed.
against Arsenal, he did start on the right. Soberslai was in the middle, Verts was up top.
Right.
That was before
Right. True. Yeah, so I guess you can't really.
So Frimpong was probably going to stay at right back over who was that? O'Reilly or Bradley?
O'Reilly's auto farts.
So
Yeah, Bradley's dead.
I think he would. Yeah, yeah. I think he starts back at right back. I don't know if I would trust him to stay on for 60, so that's why he would drop behind Taw for me.
Yeah.
And then Romero would be third, and then I'll mention Alain. Keep on the radar, but I'm not going to bring in somebody who just got recalled without knowing if he's going to start.
Yeah. Probably not for the Derby either. I wouldn't expect a 0-0
True.
or a clean sheet, but because I was also on record last episode saying I wouldn't touch City defense, so I want to be consistent. But at 4.5 mil,
That's new for you.
I know. New year, new me.
New year, we're getting better.
But at 4.5 mil into the City defense, I mean that's pretty good.
Yeah, keep an eye on him.
Midfielders: Garnacho, Gakpo, and Brennan Johnson.
Gakpo, Garnacho, Johnson.
What do you got against BJ? You don't like BJs?
Think
Answer the question.
Palace are just not very good, and he is not somebody
What a
who
politician you are.
Not win a game on his own. We've seen that the last 2 years. He's not, he's a team player. He's not a spark. That's just my humble opinion as an enthusiast.
Okay, so just on the record, you don't like BJ.
He would rank third for me on this list. I would prefer a Gakpo.
Interesting. Okay.
How about
So you like so in the list here you like nachos, Gakpos, and then BJs?
No, Gakpo's first.
Gakpo. Okay, you like getting gacked on. Okay. Forwards: Danny Welbeck, Liam Delap, and Vissa.
So I said last week, Welbeck having a great season. You were poo-pooing me on his minutes.
He's not playing because minutes
but
are
the
gone.
numbers are there. He's still scoring. He's got like 11. Let me look it up. I think
take your time.
It's at least 8 goals.
Projected at a 35% clip to score this week against Bournemouth. Gotta love the odds.
He has 9 goals this season.
9?
8 in the Prem. 1 in the FA Cup.
Counts. It's a goal.
I would put Welbeck first. Delap second. I would put Wissa second. Vissa. Wissa? He's not German.
It's Vissa. It's Vissa.
Vissa.
Yeah.
Delap third. I don't know. Delap just does minutes. There's too much competition there. Without seeing what Rossier is going to play, I can't put him.
I don't trust Delap to stay on the pitch. I think he gets a red card.
Or an injury.
Yeah.
He's like Romero.
Right. I feel like I've heard a lot of banter lately about like Mark Guiu being heavily considered for selection by Rossinier. So I don't know what that's all about.
Got sent back to Sunderland.
That'd be nice. I think that'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if he got sent back and then he started scoring goals. Yeah, that'd be nice. So, all right. So, just to recap, your top differential for each position was Allison as keeper, for defender, Gakpo for midfielder,
correct,
and Danny Welbeck for your forward.
You
heard it here, folks. Jimbo's differentials. You gotta get a little theme song for that. Okay. We'll get the intern to do it. All right. Few burning questions. Think we have time for a couple?
Much like the burning I felt. Yeah, let's do it.
Say the whole line. We'll take the copyright hit, boy. Okay. So I mentioned we had one question come in around the Bournemouth players. So this one came in around Krupi Jr. So Krupi Jr., 4.6 mil. He's about to be nailed. Semenyo's gone. Kluivert's injured. Do you think that makes Krupi Jr. one of the biggest goal threats at Bournemouth? Do you think it's worth bringing him into your squad as a forward? So he'd probably start alongside Evan Nilsson.
I still think Evan Nilsson would be higher.
You talking in price or pecking order? Or
I would say pecking order. Pecking order, you should be higher. I think in threat-wise, he's been more consistent. I mean, Krupi Jr. only had that little run earlier in the season.
Well,
I don't know.
So if we take a look at Krupi's numbers, so he's priced at 4.6 mil, like we said. He's got on the season 7 goals. I mean, that's pretty good. And he didn't really start playing until game week 8. So 7 goals, and he didn't play against Chelsea game week 15. Nor did he play against Chelsea game week 19. So 21 minus 10. So he's got 7 goals in 11 games. That's a pretty good threat. Evan Nilsson, who's priced at 7 mil, has 4 goals and 3 assists. So same number of goal contributions. Evan Nilsson's played way more games.
True. Yeah.
Numbers
I
kind of
could
don't
see it.
lie there, Jimbo.
He would be a nice third if you're going heavy in the back and you want a third striker to fill out, but you might not be using weekly. Yeah.
But you need a third striker.
Yeah. I like
He's
that.
about to be nailed. I
mean,
don't hate that.
4.6 is cheap. You could really get yourself into some trouble with that kind of money elsewhere.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we were
Good.
talking earlier today. Like,
Burning question.
thank you. These
Did
are
you
on
submit that
fire.
one?
No, well, I read it. I read it.
The
I
music
delivered
is
it to you.
gone.
I went to the mailbox. I went and got them.
Okay.
It's freezing out there. A long walk to my mailbox. Next question. This one was submitted by Anal Bum Cover. Is it time to sell Foden? He's blanked in his last 5. Semenyo, who folks thought were going to be not really selectable, is kind of making himself selectable. Would you sell Foden to bring in Semenyo?
So personally, I am going to sell Foden this week. I missed it. I was on him before he got hot. I got onto him right as he cooled down, and I'll probably sell him and then it'll heat up again. But yeah, I need those funds elsewhere, so I'm going to be selling him this week. I don't know if Semenyo coming in is helping him. I can't imagine it's going to help him. I think it would. There's a higher percentage chance that it would hurt him than help him. Might be a better way to say it. So I'm going to get out. I could always come back in for Semenyo at a later time, but I am selling him this week.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. No doubt, he's kind of stalled out the last few weeks. He was never going to keep up the pace that he was on. I think we talked about form, or formation. We think he's probably going to play a little more centrally now with Semenyo being in the squad, which usually I think benefits him. I think he plays a little bit better when he's a little more central. I'm going to hold for now because I think we've seen him play 2 games with Semenyo. Not a lot of sample there to see kind of how the two will play off each other. Maybe he unlocks something. Maybe Semenyo unlocks something for Foden, right? Because now he's got an even bigger threat on the left or right to kind of take some of that attention. Now Foden can,
Yeah.
Semenyo is, you got to worry about him, right? So I think to your point, you can always go from Foden to Semenyo at any point. The money's not an issue. So
Right.
I would say if you have Foden, maybe hold for a couple more weeks, unless you're dying to get Semenyo in. Probably okay to hold him, just in my opinion. But I think your stance is fine too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends who you're bringing him in for. If you're going to spend that money immediately, I don't know. It depends who you're going to bring him in. I have a plan for who I want to get in, and I'll have some money in reserve that I could get back to Semenyo or Foden or somebody else. So it frees up some cash for me to do other things that I want to do. So, but I agree. Holding him is
Cash
probably
money.
terrible.
Decent question.
I think having Foden and Cherky, that's why I'm not happy. So if I only had Foden, if I didn't have 2 city midfielders, I would probably hold, but I don't like having 2 at the moment. So that's why I'm going to sell them.
Remind me to tell the intern to cut the sound bit of "that's why I'm not happy" and to send it to your wife. All right, next question. This one, at least you're smiling through it. Okay, so midweek we had a couple of EFL Cup, Carabao Cup games, that first legs. So if they hold in the second leg, Arsenal would get a double game week in 26. The question is, would you rather, which 3 players would you rather for double game week 26 if Arsenal and Man City both reach the final of the Carabao Cup? Arsenal would be playing Brentford and Wolves in game week 20. Wolves would be playing Forest and Arsenal. It would also be a blank game week 31 for Arsenal, Wolves, City, and Palace. So that would be the outcome if Arsenal and City both reach the final of that EFL Cup. So I feel like we just talked the other episode how, if you were to pick 3 Arsenal players right now, it'd have to be Rice, Gabriel, and Timber. But now that, I feel like double game week, I feel like Saka comes back into the conversation. Now, how do you kind of go against an attacking player, a true attacking player, for a double game week? And how do you not give him the armband? I don't know. What do you think? Which 3 players would you want? Does Raya come back into the picture? I mean, it's Brentford and Wolves.
No, I think we had it right the other day. I think it's 2 defenders
Yeah.
and Rice.
So let's assume you're getting
Because
captaincy. Who's getting the captaincy ban in that week?
probably Gabriel or Timber.
So I'm just like doing some quick napkin math here. So let's assume they each, let's assume Gabriel gets 90 in both. If they let in a goal, worst case, he doesn't get DEF CON. That's 2 for each. That's 4 points. That's 8 points total, right? Whereas if Saka plays and he gets his, 90 minutes, it's the same outcome. So
Okay.
I guess I'm just thinking out loud here.
I think the defenders are gonna they're more apt to get DEF CON than Saka. Saka's not been
Do you
consistent.
think, though, that in a game against Brentford and Wolves, where Arsenal are probably pretty likely to command possession, that they will get DEF CON?
I think let's take a step back. How have Arsenal scored all of their goals this season?
Set pieces.
Okay. So you're saying because it's a double game week, Saka is now gonna become a bigger offensive threat?
Well, I mean, we also have said, I mean, he has scored 98 points. I have also said he's underperformed. He's underachieved for his price. The reason we bring this up, and I think it's a good question to be very honest, is 26 is not that far away. So if you have no Arsenal players and you don't have any transfers in the bank, you might want to make a transfer every week from now until then to bring players in, assuming these results hold. It,
Yeah.
I get your point.
Maybe if he scores a whole bunch between now and then, but
Yeah. So let's at least okay. So we agree that Gabriel is definitely a player to bring in. We agree Timber is probably the next player. Or would you say Rice?
probably Rice.
Okay. I was leaning Rice, to be very honest.
Yeah.
So then it's really just Timber or Saka. That would be kind of the debate. And that's, I think, a tougher debate because that is actually probably a question about funds because that's a big difference. That's about a 4 mil difference in funds right now.
Between Timber and Saka versus Rice and Saka?
Well, I'm saying if you went Rice, Gabriel, and Timber versus two of those three plus Saka.
Right. Saka's more expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So it just takes a little bit more. Something to think about. Something to think
Yeah.
about.
I think Rice and 2 defenders is still the move.
Yeah.
We just said it. You just texted me again today.
And
50-point difference between what you had versus, and now you're talking yourself back into Saka.
shiz ridiculous.
Just the defense.
Shiz ridiculous. Okay.
Ridiculous.
Good mailbox this week.
Yeah,
Not bad. Not
it's
bad.
good.
All right. We're getting towards the end here. I think we'll try to wrap things up pretty soon. As far as I think transfers go this week, other than, do you want to go first this week? You haven't made your transfers yet, right?
I have not. I'm gonna go Foden to Rice because that'll leave me. If I do that, I'll have 2.9 in the bank. So that gives me a lot of room to move around. So I could go like Gordon to Palmer. I could get back to Ekatike from Bowen or Thiago. So I'll have a lot of money in the bank. I could move off of James. I could move off of Poro and Van de Ven to get another Arsenal defender in. So yeah, I potentially missing out on some City goals if Foden starts to click with Semenyo, but I think the flexibility that money is going to give me is probably better. And if I were to sell Cherky, I don't think I can sell Cherky and make it work. Oh, I actually could. Well, that's interesting.
So that's funny you say that.
That is interesting. Well, let me ask you then. If I do that, then I can't make as many moves. I can't get to Palmer, which I really have been wanting to do easily. I have to make 2 transfers in the future.
Do you have him in the bank?
No.
You have to take a hit.
So would you go Foden to Rice and keep 2.9 in the bank, or would you go Cherky to Rice and have 0.9 in the bank?
I'd go Cherky to Rice. I think Foden in a derby. I think he's going to return
He's been on fire though.
with assists.
Well, yeah, but that's a tough one. All right, I'll have to think on that one. What about
You
you?
have to think on that one. So I think initially, what did I text you today? I think I was looking to move Saka and Dorgu out, and I think I was going to bring in Rice and Gabriel. Would have been for a hit. I would have had just enough money to do it. And then I think I was also playing around with the idea of moving Voltamade out and bringing in, I think it was DCL. I think that was the other player I was maybe thinking about. I don't really want to take a hit. I only have 1 free transfer. I've got 0.3 mil in the bank to play with. After our conversation today, I might have talked myself into going Voltamade to Krupi. I'm on record. I think I've been talking about it for a few episodes now. I really want to get off of Altamade. He hasn't really been returning. He had that one brace a couple game weeks ago. He really hasn't been there. it would basically give me, a nice little bump in my cash reserves. Which I could definitely use. Yeah, it would give me from point 0.3 in the bank to 2.9 in the bank, which then, at that point, it would open me up to a bunch of moves. What I would have liked to do was go Turkey to Rice. I was actually thinking the same move that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But, I think doing that, it would allow me then to, go from, future game week to, from Turkey to Rice. And then, I've got an issue in the back where I've got, De Kuiper and Dorgu. I've got to move on from them as well very soon because they're just useless.
That's tough.
So, got to move on from them. And could look to offload Raya, maybe move on to like Verbruggen or someone like that. Just to get some money back there as well. Yeah, so I think this week I might be looking to bring in Krupi Jr. and move off of Altamante, even though it's against Wolves.
Thing.
That's my only thing, but I really do believe Krupi's going to get the start this week. I think he has to. So that's where I'm leaning right now. But I got a little time. We'll see. We'll
Who
see.
you get a captain?
Captaincy right now, I'm still leaning Holland. Vice captaincy, I would probably, as of right now, be giving it to Saka.
All right.
So we
What
will
about-
see.
What about Lord Tank? Did he make a move today?
So Lord Tink today, I don't know what he was drinking. He was on some, the rule is, when we set the prompt is, here's the roster, here's what you have in the bank, recommend some transfers. It was throwing some crazy, crazy suggestions out there. It was telling me to bring in, like players from teams that haven't been in the Premier League in a couple seasons. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, can you please? I actually had to say, I was like, can you please reference the rosters on fantasypremierleague.com? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. I was like, what have you been using?
That's so nice of you.
Yeah. I'm very polite to the AI. We're buds. Ultimately, no transfer recommendation. The biggest issue I find week in, week out is it's just not able to sync up with their prices at all.
Like the way you're thinking.
I'm 99% sure there's an API that's out there because you can definitely like link an Excel spreadsheet to the FPL, database and whatnot. But for some reason, ChatGPT just like can't figure it out. So it'll say like, oh yeah, Morgan Rogers is priced at like 5 mil, and it's like, nope, he's 7.5. So every recommendation it makes is just not really useful, and that is sometimes what results in no transfer to be made because it just
Yeah.
can't force it to figure it out. So
With that being said, he does have a good team.
it is a really good team. Yeah.
Yeah.
The team that he's picking this week. So he did select the team. So he's going to start Verbruggen in the back, Pedro Porro, Joe Rodon, Gabriel as 3 defenders, midfield 5, Rogers, Gordon, Stock, Cherky, Wirtz as a vice captain, and then Holland with the captain band and Ekatike up top. His bench in order: Dubravka, DCL, Dallo, and Richards.
Stock
So,
over DCL is interesting.
yeah, I'm not really sure what the thought
Again-
is there.
He does not have a brain.
Doesn't have a brain. If he only had a brain. I mean, he's in last place. So
Got to be
score
pretty
one for the
bad to
humans.
be that far down the table.
Losers.
Droid.
Yeah. Enjoyed. Just taking a super, super quick look at price changes. So Gabriel's going to go up tonight. He's on track. He's already hit the threshold. So if you're making the move, think about it.
What about Rice? Is he close?
Hey, Declan Rice. Dorgu's on his way up as well. What is that about?
That's wild.
That is crazy. Frimpong's on his way up. Saliba's on his way up. Thiago's on his way up. Rice. He's usually on. He will. I don't think he'll go up before the deadline. He looks like he's about 66% of the way to a rise. I don't think he'll go up before the deadline, from what I'm seeing. As far as fallers go, just gonna go through the first couple pages here. Nobody. Jack Grealish is probably gonna drop. Guardiola is gonna drop. Salah's going to drop. Voltamade is also going to drop. So, yeah, you definitely want to try to move off him. Yeah, that's, yeah, try to move off. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Gabriel, Garner, Kelleher, and Saliba are going to go up tonight.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
just
one
another
more
rise.
tinkering, but glad to be back into it.
Really glad. Really glad. Don't get mad. Get glad. This felt good. I feel like we're getting right back into the rhythm here.
Yeah. Every time we say it's going to be a tight episode.
Well, I mean,
can't help
our banter has just been, we can't help it lately. I don't know. You know what our problem is? We're friends. We should hate each other.
That would
I
make
blame
it
Bruno Fernandez. I think the Bruno Fernandez bit was probably like 6 minutes.
Yeah, and it got nowhere. So
Yeah. Yeah. But it brought us together, you know.
yeah.
Speaking of together, we want you all to come together with us on this journey by liking, subscribing, and following us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Drop us a comment. Drop us a burning question in that mailbox. Let us know who you're captaining this week. What are you doing double game week 26 if it happens? Let us know what you're going to do.
Have you given up on your resolution yet?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to be better. Hand up. It's still not too late to join our mini league. Drop the code in the description as always. And once again, thank you for joining us on Tinker Time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and drop your captain pick in the comment. See you next game week. Happy tinkering.
Draft dreams rise like morning sun, chasing points, the game's begun. Big decisions week by week, fantasy glory's what we seek. Pick your squad, the clock won't wait.